streaming. We're streaming. Hopefully. Oh, it's starting. That's always a nice start, Tom. The fact that it's starting.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully it's actually working. I don't know. It's coming.
Let's find out, shall we?
What I might do is make the text a little bit bigger. There we go. But now there's a that could be 1 second. Oh, looks like we're live, Tom. We are indeed.
Seems that there's no audio coming through though.
What the heck? 1 second. It's coming out my side. I just played it. What I might do is... Yeah, it's coming through. But let me just do this. Live podcast number 2, TVI. Might help if I change the name of the stream too.
Cam, it's ridiculously quiet.
Yeah, I've turned it up. Don't stress. Don't speak.
Hero.
Yeah, see? No, that's a bit better, Tom. There should be audio, Sophie. I've definitely just double checked. There should be audio. I'm hoping there's audio. God damn it, Sophie, if there's not audio, I'm gonna beat someone. And by someone I mean myself.
Cam, it's
That's a bit better, Tom.
cool. It's kind of sorted.
Yeah, I assume so. Well, I hope so.
All right.
You were super.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Vaping Iwi live podcast number 2. Except for this time we're live.
And I put an E instead of a T. Now it's the podcast instead of podcast. That might help, Cam. Good work. Oh, how's it going?
So what's up, Cam?
Not much, man. Just chilling out.
Not much. Chilling out, stretching.
Yeah, just, usual, relaxing, texting.
You're just getting ready for your little nana nap.
Dude, after today, I totally feel like a nana nap. Oh shit, Maxie is here. Hey Maxie.
Don't be such a dick, Cam.
Can't help it.
Hopefully we have no echoes. Audio's nice and clear. All that stuff.
Well, it should be fun. I can hear you both. That's a good start, Maxie. That is definitely a good start. I'm happy for that. I don't know about Tom. But
Yeah, it's all working sweet. All right, Cam, what's new? What's fresh?
I mean, nothing, man. Nothing really. I haven't bought any new vape gear yet, but we will be talking about some vape gear that I'm kind of interested in today. I'm looking forward to talking about the new product from Aspire. That looks like something I could get down with. I doubt it would take the place of the IK140, but it could.
It looks pretty interesting though. It's in the same sort of spectrum as an iCare, except it looks a bit more friendly considering it's got a cap and everything.
What's with the picture? So the picture is a GIF of vapors. That's what it is, Mixie.
It's not a pipe.
Something a bit different than just having like the Vaping Wee logo right there. You know.
The vaping what?
The Vaping Wee.
The vaping wee logo. Oh shit! Yeah, you need a nap.
Dude, I've had 10 coffees today.
You still need a nap.
Yeah, I'm legitimately crashing right now from all these coffees. So we've got a couple topics. Wow, I'm really England today, mate. England is hard.
Yeah, you sound it, mate.
So yeah, we have a couple of topics. Quite a few.
We do indeed.
Which, should be good. I got the
So we'll start off.
Ooh. Are we talking about the what's it called?
The Voopoo.
The Voopoo, what's the name of it? The drag box? Is that what you're talking about, Mixer?
Drag box.
Yeah, have you not seen the Voopoo drag box?
No.
It's pretty interesting. It's a dual 18650.
Oh, Jesus. Music on their side. It looks different.
Yeah, it does.
Why call your company Voopoo, though?
It does look like a bit of a... Maxie, you shouldn't know what that looks like, because I don't know what that looks like.
Oh, Cam. Trust you to find a good background, eh?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Mate, these guys make a bunch of mods.
They do. But
Voopoo drag.
Yeah, I saw the drag the other day at work. One of the guys had it. Looks pretty.
There's another mod as well, which looks pretty different.
No, don't talk about. No. Wait, depends which one you're talking about. Because there's some pretty interesting. Yeah, it uses the gene chip. That is true.
The AX1.
Yep.
That looks different.
It looks.
The buttons look real weird.
Oh, and awkward moment when you guys can hear the audio now from the Voopoo website.
Yeah,
but
like, stop playing it.
Yeah. The AX1 looks definitely. Why call yourself the Vaping Iwi? What? Well, Iwi stands for Iwi pretty much means community in Māori, within reason. So that's why Maxi. Shh. Woman, man, just can't live with them. Can't live with them.
What? Intelligently recognizes new and old atomizers and recommends the optimum power. Yeah, right.
Hey, there's a 0.2 on there. 300 watts. No.
Yeah. 900 watts.
So instead of getting straight off on the name of Voopoo, Tom, let's hop on over to the first topic. The pros and cons of buying online versus a B&M or brick and mortar.
Yeah, I mean, personally for yourself, Cam, do you buy more from a brick and mortar or do you go online and search for the best deal?
Oh, see, like, it's a bit of both. Like, if I know the stores in town have the product, I would rather go support a local business. Like, as that sounds a bit dicky, but I'd rather go, spend my money and help someone local than give it to someone else, around. Not saying that other vendors don't have them cheaper, but I prefer to look at the device or feel the device before actually forking out, $200-300 on a mod sort of thing.
I think it's a case as well as if you go to a brick and mortar, you're going to get recommendations and, you're also going to get, like you said, hands-on with the actual device.
Yeah. See, that's one of the biggest pros or advantages in brick and mortars is obviously you get to handle the product. It is convenient. Very convenient being able to go to a store, pick it up instead of waiting, 2 days, 3 days, a week, depending on courier post, Thank you, courier post.
Yeah, and as well, another thing is going to a brick and mortar, you're going to meet other vapors as well.
Yeah.
So you kind of get more of a community feel with it instead of just being like yourself sitting at home, knowing you playing League of Legends and ordering some vape gear.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
you know, you're more kind of hands-on and stuff like that.
I mean, the kind of disappointing thing though is like, especially in towns that don't have vape shops, you kind of lose that kind of almost community sense where, you know, you can go down to the local vape shop and chill out with, you know, whoever's working there, meet new people who work there or come in, sort of thing. And it's, you know, more people would rather buy online because, one, it's within reason, it can be cheaper because you're not paying the overheads. You're not relying on the hours of a store being open.
Yeah.
You're not relying on limited stock, all that sort of stuff.
That, and you kind of, if you go in with a mindset to buy one thing, you kind of, you know, if you're going onto an online store, no one's going to tell you, oh, you should get this instead,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But that can be a negative as well if you look at it that way, because, for example, let's take the beautiful example of that brand new beautiful Wismec product that keeps blowing up.
Let's not
You know,
talk about that. But yeah.
But the thing is, you're not going to be able to go online on like a, you know, online website to buy it, and people are going to tell you, well, you probably shouldn't,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I mean,
So
I have to give my hats off to a local, well, not local, but New Zealand vendor who has pretty much replaced one that was vented, as well as pretty much told everyone that he's going to take them off the site and send them back. HB Vapor have done that, which is pretty kick-ass, IMO.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we've seen it vent, we've seen a lot of different photos and different stories about the exact same product doing the exact same thing. And I was going to buy one when they first came out, and now I'm really thankful I didn't. B&M if I can, but if there is a big price difference between online, yeah. See, that's pretty much it, man. Like Nigel, I was the same for a while, and then I was like, dude, I might as well support someone who, you know, works in my city, lives in my city, and try and help them as much as I can, because yes, vaping is becoming big, but it's still a very lucrative market at this point in time.
Yeah.
Could change.
So, I mean, personally, I don't really have a choice in terms of B&M or online because of where I'm at.
Yeah.
There is no B&M. Well, I mean, there's one, but it's, you know, that's if I want to limit myself to Mount Baker Vapor and stuff that's marked up about 600%. Yeah, Shosha styles, but not even a Shosha, so.
But advantages for online, when you think about that, you do have a wide range of products you can choose from.
Yeah, generally wider as well, wider than in store, depending on the online, of course, and depending on the brick and mortar. But in in general aspects, you generally have more on a website because they don't have to display everything in a case, you know, in a cabinet for you to see.
And shit, I don't know if you're the same as me, Tom, but I really do love vape mail. Vape mail is like, you know, my favorite part of the week when I get vape mail.
Oh yeah.
Like yesterday when I got the gorge.
Vape mail.
Vape mail, just best thing ever. I serve at the local vape shop now if needed. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I've done that before at vape shops. Not going to mention names, and also now obviously working at a vape shop. Not going to mention names again, but you know, it's definitely one of those things where if you can help and you have the knowledge, then by all means help.
Yeah.
And I mean, the other great thing about online is deals. There are always deals going on. Not just locally, but internationally. You can always find pretty damn good discounts if you're willing to pay shipping internationally. I mean, from the States, it's not the cheapest, but Australia is not too bad. I don't know if you agree on that, but I think it's like $20 or $25 shipping from Oz.
Which is pretty expensive when you think about it.
Depending on size, but, you know.
Yeah. But, you know, like, I mean, it's not like you can just waltz on into a vape shop at, like, 11 o'clock at night after a few beersies, you know? Like, that's the benefit of an online shop as well, is that people...
That's the issue of buying online. After a couple beersies, you always end up spending more than you anticipated.
Yeah, we're not talking about anyone in particular, Richard, but
I mean, shit, I've done it before. I've spent more money online after a couple of beersies than I ever have sober. So, but then comes the, as you said, Tom, the no face-to-face assistance with online.
yeah,
Um, Normally, a lot of the information on the websites isn't, the full specs and full pictures and all that sort of jazz. Like, I mean, yes, there's Google, and yes, you can go look on other websites to find the product and go to YouTube, look at reviews, all that sort of stuff. Juice when you buy. Yeah, exactly, Meg. See, that's one thing that I also am not a big fan of buying online is the risk of buying e-liquid online. If you buy, let's say, the company only does 120 mils of juice per bottle.
yeah.
Like the fucking range that I've got. If you don't like that 120 mils, you've got 120 mils of juice that costs what, $45-$50 depending on where you buy it, sort of thing. And you're stuck with it. You don't want to vape it. None of your friends want to vape it because you don't like it. And you end up trying to give it away, and people are just like,
No, I'm good.
Yeah, Maxie, it is weird not seeing us, but that's the whole point of a podcast. I mean, Tom's in a hoodie right now, and I'm sitting here in a t-shirt. It's pretty much the same vaping EV, just without our cameras on.
It just means that you can play it back, just the audio, chill, relax, do whatever you do normally.
But the other thing is,
Make dinner.
I will set up a SoundCloud probably this afternoon, this evening, and upload it there as well, just so that people that want to drive and listen to it can, because I have heard that in the past.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I will make an attempt to do that, but hopefully you guys are enjoying the format of audio rather than looking at Tom's face.
Yeah, and Cam's face that's made for radio.
I mean, Tom's voice is bad enough, but his mouth is.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Aspire iCare Breeze.
The Aspire iCare.
It's like the iCare Mini with the PCC charger looking thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a PCC for it, which is optional, and it is extra. But in itself, the device isn't too bad. It's got the same battery as the normal iCare.
Yep.
It's got a 650 milliamp hour. It's the same size as an iCare, so it's no different. The only difference, which I do like, is two things. Number one, you do get a cap, so you can cap it.
Yeah, so if you're throwing it in your pocket, you're not getting lint and shit.
You're not getting lint and dust in there. And the second thing is the fire button. Like, the original iCare was great, and the draw system was really well made, but the ability to fire it when
turn it off.
Yeah, and turn it off.
Yep.
Is something that's generally overlooked. I mean, the iCare, the standard one, would auto fire by itself. Very rarely, but it's still. Yeah, versus this may not be.
I believe there is a fire button as well, which compared to obviously the intake system of the original iCare, so much better.
So you finally, like same size, just with a fire button.
I mean, they give you the same sort of information as well, with like soaking your coils for 15 minutes, blah blah blah.
What's quite interesting though is that instead of being a 1.2 ohm coil, it's a 0.6 ohm coil.
Yeah, 0.6. Yeah.
So it's half the ohms. So I wonder whether it would produce more vapor due to it, which in theory it should.
Yes. It doesn't have it'll be a 4.2 volt, so.
What's nice as well is on the iCares, if you've owned one before, you'd know that the air kind of just caresses the top of the coil and then goes up. So there's no air passing through the coil itself. What that can mean is you can burn your cotton quicker. It can mean that you get less flavor, less vapor, so on and so forth. Versus these new Aspire ones, the air actually goes in, below, and up through the actual coil. So in theory, you're going to get a lot more flavor, a lot more life out of your coils as well. So you're not going to burn out as quick.
So performance-wise, I see people have been saying that yes, it does have better flavor, but if you're chain vaping on it, you do get the old toasty cotton, as they like to say,
Mm.
or a muted vape. So pretty much you'll get dry hit sort of thing if you're doing it hard. It is MTL and DTL device, so being 0.6, yeah, direct to lung should be fine, as well as mouth to lung. I mean, I mouth to lung on 0.1, 0.15, perfectly fine, which sounds weird, but it is possible to do. Price for them in the States, not too bad. I don't know if you agree on that, Tom, but I would happily pay that sort of price.
Yeah, $25. So if they were to hit New Zealand, that'd be what, 36-ish,
Yeah, something like that.
which isn't too bad for that kind of kit. Meanwhile, the eye care is still a cheaper option.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get as much flavor and vapor out of it than an eye care.
Excuse me.
It seems like a pretty interesting solution. I mean, it's nice that it's got pass through, just like the eye care.
Yeah.
Sadly, the pass through doesn't work when it's on the PCC cradle thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I kind of understand because it's trying to charge up a 2,000 milliamp hour battery and a 650 milliamp battery. But yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see who stocks them in the future and if they're any good.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the only other downfall I see from it is slow ramp up on the auto. So it does have two settings: automatic draw and manual. Slow ramp up on the automatic, and no adjustable airflow. Which, I mean, that's not hard to change with a drill, but you're kind of stuck with what you got within reason.
Yeah.
Maxi. That's one thing we can't show you the products we're talking about. I mean, it definitely looks like an eye care. It's almost an eye care. It's very much like an eye care with a fire button. Think of the original eye care, not the 140 or the 160 or the whatever it is. There's so many different ones now. But, I mean, the coils kind of look similar to the Nautilus X.
Kind of, yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the Nautilus X, but it's kind of got that slot in the top kind of looking thing.
Yeah.
Exactly like the X's, which I've been meaning to pick up, but I think I'll just get a spiral instead.
Yeah, spirals aren't too bad. Good mouth to lung.
Still need to pick one up, but we'll talk about that at a later date. 10 things we can all do to save vaping. Now, this is one that really does speak more to the Americans in the sense that the information we have is pretty much based on American studies. But we can put it into practice in New Zealand.
Yeah, there's a couple things that we can put into practice.
Pretty much everything except for one.
I think there's there's a couple of them.
You're making me yawn as well. I'm sorry, Nigel. I am so sorry. So, number one, Tom, learn everything you can. So, be it your devices, the liquid that we're using, all that sort of jazz. So, being able to represent vapors in a way that you have that knowledge to spin off to non-vapors or other vapors who are in their, the beginning of their journey. Maxi, don't fall asleep on us.
One of the bigger things with vaping is that it's, as easy as it may seem, there is so much science and information behind it as well. Whether it is to do with your Ohm's law or, anything like that, it is...
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say every vapor needs to know Ohm's law to answer questions, but... No. Especially if you're getting asked about mechs or something that involves needing to know Ohm's law, be it building or that sort of things. It's definitely good to have a basic and brief knowledge to be able to answer questions that you're asked by non-vapors or vapors and correct the misunderstandings like popcorn lung and all that sort of crap that goes around.
Especially to non-vapors. That's where that's where we kind of lead into number two, but still in number one, like stuff like knowing the nicotine levels and what it can be appropriately used in,
Yeah.
is very important, because a lot of people go through an upgrade to, let's say, they go from a little mouth to lung AIO style thing, and they move up to like a V8 stick, and a lot of them, no
Vaping
one
on
tells
12
them that they
milligram.
have to, yeah, they have to ramp down their neck when they're going up in their gear. And a lot of people end up with very, very bad tasting e-juice in a smock V8 and ruin a coil that way too.
Or nick ups.
Or yeah, yeah,
I don't know if you've
which
had
is
nick ups, but it's definitely not
no.
fun. And then next one, Tom. Teach non-vapors the facts and gain their support.
Yeah, and I mean this one's pretty I mean, I've experienced it firsthand in the sense that the place where I'm currently working, one of the gents there, just basically non-vapors, when they study vaping, so to speak, because a family member starts to vape and so on and so forth, they generally read the mainstream media stuff, which is the popcorn lung is like the number one thing that comes up, and how nicotine is bad for you and so on and so forth. It's always going to be the negative that you're going to find first and that you're going to read first, and it's
Yeah.
just a question of not necessarily like preaching to them, but it's just a case of kind of informing them a bit better, so that they can support that family member, or whoever, um, in not telling them all the bad stuff constantly, because it can be pretty negative in terms of your experience. You end up having a whole bunch of people that tell you don't do it when you're trying to do a good thing. You believe you're doing a good thing, and you receive all this negative criticism
I mean, it's
everywhere.
like, well, this might sound weird, but it's like at the store. We've had a couple people pop in and hit us with the old, which one of these is going to blow up in my face, and it's like
Yeah.
none of them, if you use them correctly, know what you're doing with the device, and if it's got external batteries, you're not using them when they're torn, or if it's got internal batteries, you're not charging them on a 2 amp charger if it's not meant to be, which is pretty much every device except for a couple of the new ones like the Megavolt.
Mm.
One moment.
Your audio is still coming through, Cam? Okay. Anyway, what Cam feels to this. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a case of just properly informing the non-vapors in order to continue their so they can continue their journey and so on and so forth,
Sorry about that,
like Cam
guys.
was saying.
Yeah, exactly, Tom. You hit the nail on the head. Um, but it's one of those things that we really, really need their support. 100%.
Hmm. Moving on to the third point, which is to write a letter to the editor of your local newspaper. Personally, in New Zealand, it's a bit of a long shot. Um, I mean, you can do it, and it may do something, but it is a bit of a long shot here. And
Yep.
the best way to approach it would be to write a like polite, response to any anti-vaping articles, or tell them your story, because you never know, they might publish it if they feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, if be it you've got a politician that's your representative, and he's a smoker, and there are a lot of them out there. A lot of politicians do smoke. Know it for a fact. Been in politics my whole life pretty much. Um, Getting those sort of people on board by either writing it and Maxi, yeah, I was getting asked if I wanted dinner. That was the point, Maxi. I muted myself. Um, yeah, so be it you're getting it in the paper so that either your representatives in your city or other politicians, in a national newspaper if possible, can see it. Always helps, even though the politicians are kind of in our favor at the moment. There's not really anything severely negative happening in the legislation they're putting through at the moment, except for the old vaping indoors, be it, you know, any indoors, including vape shops. That's the part I'm getting to, is the vape shop side, rather than being able to vape in like a mall or something, because you shouldn't. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, if it's possible, if you see any negative sort of articles, be it One News, and you post it on their One News site, that always helps. As long as you're being polite and positive and not being, without sounding bad, a douche. Like, if you're being really cocky about it and not giving them information about it. So that ties back to 1 and 2 as well. Not giving them the right information to correct where they've gone wrong. Then you're just fighting a losing battle. Number 4, yes, it does particularly.
I don't think number 4 applies to New Zealand, so I don't
Eh,
think there's much point going over it, which is to vote, like, you know, register to vote and do it and stuff like that. Find out which candidates support your right to vape. But it's a case of the system doesn't really work that way here. If anything, you know, find organizations or companies in New Zealand that are pro vapor and help
Yeah.
them in their journey
Yeah.
to make New Zealand a vaping legal country, basically.
Or a smoke free.
Yeah,
And
well, I mean,
vape
the smoke-free
friendly.
thing they're trying for anyway, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be a positive if we show them an alternative that is worthwhile, and that we're a good community of people, and that it is a worthwhile thing. The next one, though, is quite interesting, which is to recruit smokers. I'm kind of divided on this topic because at the end of the day, you can, you know, you can say it jokingly and stuff like that. You can say, have you tried vaping and stuff like that jokingly. But I'm not one to believe that you should be shoving it down someone's throat, you know, where
Yeah.
you're basically, you know, telling them to stop smoking. I mean, you know, there's a thin line, I believe, where it's polite and impolite to do so.
Yeah.
So that's more your personal preference, however you want to tackle it
Yeah, I mean,
on your side.
it that's a really hard one. Like, I personally believe, open the door. If someone that's smoking comes up to you and talks about vaping and goes, you know, what is it, blah blah blah, open that door, so that you've given them a bit of knowledge. So that goes back to 1 and 2 as well. You've given them the knowledge and a bit of information. You don't have to throw, you know, 1,000 things at them.
I
Just the
believe that
basic sort of stuff. I mean,
if they approach you and ask, then yeah, go for it. But if you see them smoking, don't go up to them and be like, stop smoking.
yeah, I mean,
Because no, that's rude.
check that I go to. That's in the same institute as I am. Chefing degree as well. She hit me up the other day and it's like, I'm gonna quit smoking. So how can I do it?
Oh, look at that. Cam gets dinner delivered midstream, eh? Bloody
The
living
service
as a
in this
highlight.
place, man. Dinner delivered. Ready
You
to
better
go
go on TripAdvisor and give it a 5 out of 5.
I better give it. Yeah, man. I mean, it's not a B&B. Dude, we should totally run it. No, it's not. But I mean, yeah, she hit me up and was like, after this week, I'm gonna come see you when you're working. Blah blah. Blah. We're gonna sort out a vape.
Mm.
It should say convert smokers. Yeah, that's exactly it. If they're interested and want to know about it, give them the information, Maxie. It's not, hey, I vape, you smoke, that's gross, blah blah blah. Like, yes, you know it's not the healthiest thing to do, smoking, but you can't force someone against their own will to do what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like I said, don't shove it down their throats. But if they approach you, why the fuck not? You know, like, you can start a conversation about it. The next topic
Doesn't
is
matter to us.
again very US based, but the way I'd put it, if anything, would be to rename it to get behind the vendors who are
Support the
involved
vendors,
with you know, support the vendors who are involved with the whole legalities of making nicotine liquids legal in New Zealand.
Well, I mean,
Because
anyone who's supporting the cause.
Yeah, anyone
pretty
who's
much.
supporting the whole vaping cause in New Zealand. So it'll basically be every vendor in New Zealand anyway. But
Mm.
it's just a case of, just tell them they're doing a good job.
Mm. Be it by supporting them financially, like obviously buying devices off
Mm.
them, or just giving them kudos whenever you either go into the store or see them at a vape meet or something. Vaping B&B, that would be a great idea, Maxie. We're actually I'm trying to find an Airbnb in Auckland that is vape friendly for Auckland Vape Day, and it is the hardest thing I've ever tried to do.
Mm.
Um, Number 7 is US related,
I
but we can
reckon
also
I
do it in New
reckon
Zealand.
skip straight to 10, to be honest.
No, like in New Zealand, join up with the advocacy groups. It is
Yeah,
definitely a
yeah,
valid thing. It's one of those things that the more voices we have, the louder we are.
yeah, for sure.
Which is definitely something we really need. Because being that we're only a small percentage of New Zealand, it's really hard to get our voice across without joining together
I
and
mean, yeah,
supporting each
we
other
have a
and pushing.
very small amount of vapors in New Zealand compared to places like the US with 10 million vapors.
Mm.
It's a question of the more people who speak up, the better in that sense.
Also, Maxi, this king prawn is delicious. Um, just throwing it out there.
But anyway, moving on to the last one, which is, it's a bit silly but makes sense. It's to be proud to be a vapor in the sense that you've succeeded in quitting smoking, or you've heavily diminished the amount that you smoke. Um, and it's just a question, and it's just a case of being proud of yourself for achieving that milestone. A lot of people cannot manage it, and
Yeah.
a lot of people do need help along the way, but it is a very important thing.
Oh my gosh, this is delicious. Mm. Sorry, guys. I'm just in love right now. But yeah, totally agree, Tom. You have to be proud of what you've done. It's not a small achievement. It's definitely not, because I mean, smoking is probably one of the hardest things you can quit
Mm.
because it is
All
so easily
right.
accessible. But next one, Tom, hit us with it.
All right. So vaping is not a gateway to smoking. This is a topic that's caused a lot of controversy, and a lot of people in the media have seen, have said that because you vape, you're going to start smoking, especially if you haven't smoked before. Um, and they're saying that that's the way it's going to happen, and they're guaranteeing you it. Whereas in most cases, for example, myself, was not smoking when I was vaping, when I started vaping, and I'm still not smoking to this day. So it's definitely
Yeah,
a very controversial topic.
I mean, I totally agree with how vaping is not a gateway. I mean, the amount of people we get coming who smoke, and so we've
Mm,
quit smoking fully, and I'm like, oh, so you haven't had any smokes, you don't plan on going back, and they're like, fuck no.
mm.
It's definitely not a gateway, and I mean,
And
certain e-liquids in obviously other countries, not New Zealand. Yes, sometimes the advertising looks like it's towards children, but what's saying
mm.
adults can't enjoy their past, be it like Pokemon sort of things or
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
whatever,
it's in New Zealand. It's not really an issue. It's never been an issue. We don't have all the stuff that looks like the Kiri fruit juice
or a grenade or
boxes.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's a grenade, that's pretty freaking cool. But it's we don't get the really ludicrous ones like the Pokemon ones and stuff like that. It's pretty tame in New Zealand, but in the US, it is pretty bad. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of understand where those companies are coming from in the sense that you've got that nostalgia,
Mm.
but it's a bit yeah,
There's a
bit
fine
of a
line.
thin. Yeah, there's a fine line where it's funny and it's cool, and then where it's completely just advertised towards kids kind of thing.
Yeah. Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's pretty much it
Um,
on that. Unless
yeah,
you have
pretty
anything
much
else
on
to
that one.
add. This is something I don't know. I don't know, Tom. This thing that we were about to talk about, the Vapresso Revenger kit.
Yeah,
It's different. Kind of reminds me of like a mask in a way. It does look
it,
a bit more ergonomic than some of the things I have seen lately. But
yeah, it's definitely a step up from the Terra,
mm,
but is it a step in the right direction? Is the right question.
well, I mean, yes. Well, looks wise, no. Personally, I don't think it looks that amazing. Um, but the fact that it is a part of the ever changing mods that are allowing lower resistance to fire on it, like 0.05 is the lowest resistance you can fire on it. And that's in normal modes. That's not just in stainless steel or temp control. That's the
I think
whole.
I think it's the dawn of the .05 mods. To be honest,
It's the
like
dawn of the super sub
it
arm. It
used
really
to
is.
be, yeah, it used to be very rare to find a mod that could fire so low. A regulated device that could fire so low and that could do it really well. But now everyone is doing a .05
Yeah,
minimum.
I mean, following obviously the evolved chips, the DNA chips, where they've been able to fire pretty damn low for a pretty damn long time.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, .03s, etc.
I really am looking forward to the tank more than anything. So the
Yeah,
NRG,
the tank actually looks really nice as well.
how's it going,
It's got,
V-Dog?
it's got that nice wide bore.
I mean, you've got everything from 0.15 to zero point zero 0.02 to 0.15 again, which is a different style of wire, a zero point
Mm.
0.4, and a C cell, which is 0.3. So, I mean, you can vape all the way up to 110 watts on some of these. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
if you're
and
into
that's
that.
the great thing as well. They're not doing the whole smock thing of bringing out a tank that vapes at the maximum watts.
Mm.
They're still saying you're going to get a great experience out of this 110 watts maximum kind of thing. It's um it's not a case of like, here's a mod, here's a tank. To power that tank, you're going to need
All
a
of the
different mod.
wattage. Oh, yeah, a
All of
different
the
one.
wattage or a different
Yeah.
mod, aka like all of the wattage, aka drain your batteries in like 10 minutes. you know it's really, yeah, but they've taken a good approach with it, and I think their mind's in the right direction for it. It's very futuristic
It's,
looking, very like
it's,
Lamborghini Porsche style.
without sounding too odd about it, it's definitely the competitor with the Alien, so it's a 5 watt to 220 as well. Um, Max output of 50 amps, yeah, because they make batteries that are 50 amp. Uh-huh.
No, but the thing is, with a regulated device, it's going to be a bit different. So I
Mm.
mean, your 50 amps is actually, it's not the best thing, but it's fairly reasonable.
Yeah.
And take the Captain as an example, because I know that Maxi has one, and then you've got one, I've got one, a bunch of people have one now. But if you were to put a fairly low build on the Captain, it does cap out at 50 amps.
Yeah.
And your batteries, they don't get warm. Your batteries drain about the same anyway, and so on and so forth. So it's in a fairly safe limit. And to be honest, the 50 amps is the only way that it's going to fire a .05 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And do decently. But yeah, I think it's a great device. It'd be interesting to see what it's like in person. I definitely want to see the tank in action though.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking of, like, they sell the tank separately, so that's a possibility for me. It should be something that is desirable for people who like tanks. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but the fact that it does have a 0.15, I might pick it up just for that fact. How's it going, Yeti?
What's up, Yeti? What's up, B Dog? Sorry about before. I didn't say hi.
And Moses,
What's up,
what's up,
Moses?
dude? I mean, looks really great. Build quality looks great. Haven't had one in my hand yet, so can't confirm. Um, it does have the new Omni board 2.0 on there, so great thing, as well as firmware upgradable. And by the looks of the menu, it looks pretty damn idiot proof and simple to use.
Oh yeah, Cam.
I mean, I'll probably screw it up within 5 minutes of owning it, but
I wonder if it's weak baby hands compatible as well.
well, dude, it looks small enough that it could be.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing that you have to keep in mind for yourself. Is when you look at mods, you got to see if they're gonna fit your weak baby hands.
This is why I buy from B&M's, Tom, because then I can actually touch them first and be like, yeah, well, that fits in my hand pretty well. So yeah, the Vaperso Revenger kit. So that's with the NRG and the Revenger itself. Yeah, might pick one up. Bugger, I probably will pick one
I'll
up.
probably get the tank.
Just get the whole thing, Tom. Lastly, very much so lastly on the cards for us, the Geek Vape Peerless RDA.
But not just any Geek Vape Peerless, this special edition Geek Vape Peerless RDA.
Yeah.
They did make a prior edition and they were cool, but I didn't like the whole drip cap thing that was Ultim and just looked out of place on them.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with Ultim.
Yeah, but the whole thing was Ultim. It was like a big chuff.
Yeah,
Ultim
that's true.
cap.
Nothing is idiot proof. Yeah, Yeti, that's true. I've got a lot of mods that I can't use because they're not idiot proof.
So the Peerless, basically the special edition, what they've done is they've fixed a couple things. The body of the previous Peerless was all aluminum. These new ones are made out of stainless steel. Whether it's the gold one or the silver one or the stainless one or the black one, they're all stainless steel, so a bit more rigid metal to begin with, which is quite nice.
Same deck.
Same deck, exactly the same deck. The drip tip is a 810 drip tip, so you do have the option still of an Ultim one or just the Delrin one, just to look different more than anything else. Personally, I've got one of these and I do use the Ultim one more than the Delrin. Don't know why, but I just do. But the thing from Geek Vape is that in most part, at least from all the Geek Vape products that I've owned personally, the quality is always great. The prices are really, really good, really attractive prices.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Peerless for $49 and you get a squonk pin, type of thing. Well, they're generally $49 to $59, but you do get a squonk pin included in there as well. It's actually a very, very good squonk RDA, just because the juice well is so deep. Like you can fit so much juice into there.
Deep. 9.5 mils. That is a pretty damn deep juice well. Like, I mean, I haven't owned one myself, but they do look really, really nice. Both stainless steel or chrome, as it looks, and the gold. The gold does kind of interest me a bit more than the chrome-looking one.
Yeah, the silver one's nice for, let's say, a white brass admiral. But in saying that, like the black one would look great on the captain, the blacked out captain, or the stainless steel would look great on kind of anything anyway. And then the gold one, you'd have to have a mod that's
Gold
got
or
gold
black?
on it somewhere.
Or black.
Yeah, black mod or gold mod, just to matchy, because matchy is important.
Hashtag baby thumbs. Squonk pins, I mean, as you probably know by now, squonk is definitely life. I love my squonks. Yeah, it's pretty much it. Like, it's a nice looking RDA. Would I pick one up? Possibly. I mean, I've got the icon, which I absolutely freaking love, and I've been using that on the squonk.
I think you need both, to be honest, because the thing with
I wouldn't
the
mind comparing
Peerless,
them.
yeah, it's not just it's the juice. The juice capacity, mate.
Yeah.
Like the juice capacity is so huge. You would see a difference. You would be squonking a lot less. I can guarantee you that.
I mean, well, right now I'm rocking the Gorge RDA little single coil, kind of almost Headley esque, but with more airflow.
Hmm.
And I'm definitely digging that. I don't know if I'd want to go bigger, but you know, if I do plan on it, I probably will try out a Peerless. Um, I mean, I
Does
really want to
the
compare them.
does the Icon have single airflow option?
That is a
Because
good
that's
question
where
because I'm
like
pretty
the
sure it does.
Peerless
Yes, yes,
does.
it does.
Nice. Peerless does as well, so it's gonna have that option.
Yeah, but there
Very
is, yeah, there's 9 staggered slots on the side of each side of the Peerless, whereas the Icon has 2 quite large, almost square but pretty damn close to being rectangle slots. And I mean, I have them wide open, and there is air for days.
airy.
Like it even compares with the Aromizer Plus in the sense that it's just airy, and that's kind of what I like at the moment is quite airy, wide open vapes.
And the thing is as well with the Peerless, if you build very low and very hot builds, that massive airflow does help with keeping it cool.
Yeah.
Because, like for example, let's go Goon
No,
LP
let's not talk about
with
the
the
Gun LP.
tiny narrow cap. The thing with the Goon LP is that it's actually a great RDA, and it's a great RDA with the Ultim cap, like full Ultim, because it doesn't get as hot and you don't burn your lips on it. But it's just in terms of keeping it cold, it's impossible. It's like it gets boiling to the point where literally you do burn your lips if you touch the top cap.
Yeah.
If you've got a very hot build, big build that's borderline touching the sides, that's where you're going to experience that inconvenience with that. And that's where the Peerless kind of, to me, fixed that problem with being a full size RDA.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, pretty much. You stop hitting the nail on the head, Tom, because now I've got nothing to talk about. Um,
I think that's pretty much it from us today. We've covered a whole bunch of stuff, so
yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't really think of any other devices that we've got on the cards at the moment, but next time we should have a couple more things to talk about. I mean, we might be able to talk about the 2700s and how they're going for us in the next episode, be it either live video show or podcast that will come through in the next couple of weeks. We will talk about it. But yeah, is there anything else you want to say, Tom? Whilst we're here?
nah, not really. That's about it for us.
I would say let's go down some clouds, but
There's no point really.
there's no clouds.
Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this audio format
Yeah, something
versus
different.
being a video show. And you will be able to listen to it just with audio on SoundCloud, hopefully, once Cam has that set up tonight. And we'll go from there.
Hashtag SoundCloud. But yeah, we'll set that up this evening in between everything else I've got to do. But yeah, have a good night, guys. We will catch you later next time on the video show. Peace out. Vape on.